Will Raja Jackson be arrested from what you're hearing?
Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind. Everything's on tape, on video. It's premeditated. Just LAPD tends to drag their feet.
Syko Stu is suing. Is he suing Raja specifically, or who is he suing specifically?
I know from a decent source that there are lawyers involved, but that was on the internet. I think it was X posted it, and then a couple other ones.
Posted a couple things, but the most recent one I thought was the most telling. He posted a very long statement on his Instagram, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. You've seen it. You can go. He's talking more about the reaction, and I know. And by the way, let's call it like it is. Like, there's been a lot of, I can't even imagine the racist stuff that has been thrown his way and his son's way. One should have nothing to do with the other. Like, get that out of here.
Syst DE's friend, the same guy who stepped in when Roger Jackson was wilding out, Doug Malo, just dropped a bombshell. He confirmed straight up that an arrest is coming for Roger, and fast. Malo revealed detectives told him Raja is about to be cuffed within days. And the key detail? Everything's caught on camera, showing it wasn't just heat of the moment, it looked planned out.
So what can you tell us from those conversations that you've had? Any updates? Will Raja Jackson be arrested from what you're hearing?
Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind. Everything's on tape, on video. It's premeditated. Just LAPD tends to drag their feet. So the detective asked me a bunch of questions. I even asked about my implications, just because it's, you're involved and whatnot. And he goes, no, there's nothing to worry about. Like, you're just trying to get compliance. Everything was towards Raja. He asked a couple other questions about the other videos involved with the people in the back and this and that. Not for implications, just because he's just trying to get information. He's building a solid case.
Malo didn't hold back, pointing out that the LAPD might move slow sometimes, but this time the focus is locked on Raja alone. He made it clear the cops aren't circling him or anyone else who was around. According to him, detectives are simply piecing together extra angles from videos to make the case airtight. Doug even explained that investigators admitted they already had enough witnesses and proof to charge Raja right now, but they're being strategic. The big thing they're looking at is exactly how much of this was premeditated, and that's what could take Raja's situation from bad to catastrophic.
The detective I talked to outside of the case, just asked him about formalities, what I should look at, what not to look at. He was saying that this is just how LAPD works. They drag their feet. So they're building the case right now. They get all the evidence. The state's going to pick it up because there's so many people, so many witnesses. Heck, even my little brother saw it. My girlfriend, my mom, all the kids that saw it, all the people there. So that right there, they have the evidence enough to try the case. And then what they're trying to figure out is what level of premeditation is, from my understanding, is why he's trying to figure out what conversations took place, what conversations mean. He was asking me what specific terms mean exactly, and like what they mean to the person they're telling them to.
Detectives even pressed Doug about the meaning behind certain convos and slang, digging deep to decode the context. They wanted every detail locked down. Doug Malo revealed that lawyers are already circling, and he's convinced Sir Smith will face off with Roger Jackson in court. According to solid sources, a legal showdown is not just possible, it's practically guaranteed. On top of that, Syko Stu is already moving with his own lawsuit, and the word is it's pushing Roger straight toward jail. But Doug admitted the chaos has been eating at him. He confessed the whole mess left him anxious, frustrated, and drained. His real dream? To rise above all this drama, break into the big leagues of wrestling, and finally sign with a major promotion.
Syko Stu is suing. Is he suing Raja specifically, or who is he suing specifically?
I know from a decent source that there are lawyers involved, but that was on the internet. I think it was X posted it, and then a couple other ones.
But is this confirmed, for a fact from your source, right?
That there's lawyers involved.
Is there any idea of who he's suing?
I think their first name starts with an R and their last name's Jackson.
Yeah, we know that there are lawyers involved, so let the process play out, and then we'll know it by ear. But I can say there's a high probability of that.
That's what's gonna happen to Raja?
Yeah.
That literally sounded like a jail door.
Straight to jail. Yep.
Yet he said it feels like the truth keeps getting buried under rumors, leaving him stuck right in the crossfire. For now, Doug believes silence is his best weapon, staying low, keeping his focus, and reminding people that he never asked for any of this. All he wanted was to stop a fight that spiraled into what detectives now call an attempted murder. John Bradshaw Layfield didn't hold back. He blasted Raja Jackson, saying what went down wasn't just a fight, it was a flat-out assault. He made it crystal clear that all the blame sits squarely on Raja's shoulders, while still showing concern for Rampant Jackson, who got dragged into chaos he never asked for. Layfield stressed that striking somebody who's already out cold isn't just crossing the line, it's breaking every rule of human decency.
This has happened. You've gotten a lot of positive attention, Doug. What's next for you as far as in wrestling and just in general? What are your plans moving forward?
I don't know now. I want to get to an upper echelon and I want to be somewhere and I don't want to sit here and have to deal with all this drama anymore. I feel like I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. If I say how I feel or I just tell the truth, you know what I mean? I don't know. It gives me a bunch of anxiety dealing with this whole situation. I want to get signed. I want to go somewhere. I'm cool with AEW, MLW, WWE, anywhere, right? But all of this shit leaves it up for everyone to speculate on, and the truth always gets buried. You know what I mean? And then years later, it might come out, and it's oh, that was the truth. They were right. They were this, right? But I feel like right now, it's the best thing for me to do is just shut myself in a room and be quiet because this is a lot. I didn't ask for any of this shit. All I did was break up a fucking fight or attempted murder. It's a lot.
Ariel Ani also jumped in, calling Raja's behavior pure foolishness and outrageous. He argued that any punishment Raja faces will be nothing but deserved. Ani even admitted he was shocked no legal action had hit Raja yet, given how reckless the attack looked on video. He called it unbelievable. Raja didn't just carry out the assault, he documented it, defended it, and doubled down publicly. Ani called it nothing less than a reckless act of self-destruction that guaranteed Raja's downfall. Adding more heat, Greg Doucette suggested Raja might have thrown away his entire career in one stupid move. He warned that jail could very well be the next step. According to Doucette, years of brutal comparisons to his legendary father piled on the pressure, and that weight finally snapped. Growing up in Rampage's shadow, constantly criticized even by his own family, built the kind of frustration that exploded into this ugly incident.
Attempted murder. Yeah, there's no other way to describe it. And I'm gonna give you some caveats about what could have been done, but I want to make it very clear. This is 100% Raja Jackson's fault. 100%. The fault and the blame lies 100% with this man. I feel sorry for Rampage. He seems like a really good guy. His talk about his son had a concussion. We can talk about that in a minute. And that he never should have been there to put him in that situation, which is, I think, correct. But 100% of this blame goes on Raja. No matter what happens here, once this guy's out, the fight's over. If it is a fight, the guy didn't know he was in a fight. So forget about the fact that, the guy thought he was working and, he knocks him out. But at that point, it's just attempted murder. You're hitting, I don't care what happens. I don't care if this happened in the back. A guy's down and out and you just keep punching him. There's no call for that.
And now, Raja might be remembered more for this meltdown than for anything he ever did in the ring. Greg Doucette tore into Raja Jackson, stressing that the so-called plan was supposed to be just a single punch, not a vicious beatdown. Yet Raja unleashed over 20 brutal blows on Syko Stu, who was already knocked out cold. Doucette said the moment Stu stopped defending himself and started bleeding, it was obvious the match was done. Anything beyond that wasn't wrestling. It was a criminal act that could send Raja straight to jail. He explained the chaos in the arena, saying other wrestlers couldn't tell at first if it was part of the show or something real. For a moment, they assumed it was just another scripted stunt. But once they saw the blood pouring and realized Stu wasn't acting, they jumped in fast to protect him.
An absolute shitstorm of stupidity. Just even calling it a shitstorm of stupidity is being kind. And it starts with Raja himself. What he did and the way he acted was absolutely insane. He deserves anything that is going to come his way, and as of now, it's nothing. As of now, he hasn't been charged, he hasn't been arrested, he hasn't been anything. And I don't know if he's going to be, and far be it for me to sit here and be like, that was first degree this, and I've seen people weigh in on what it is. I'm no lawyer, I'm no officer. What I know is that it was absolutely stupid what he did.
Doucette emphasized how rapid Raja's punches were, a blind rage that happened so quick, it was hard to process in real time. He added that Raja stormed out of the ring in a fury, doing exactly what he had bragged about before. And with the whole attack caught crystal clear on video, there's no escaping responsibility. But then, Gerald Sosa offered a different take, suggesting Raja might have thought he was sticking to the wrestling script. He explained that Raja went for a double leg takedown that Stu was supposed to play along with in the center of the ring. The problem? The move went wrong, Stu crashed on his head, looked dazed, and that's when Raja lost control. Gerald admitted Raja's strikes did look heavier than normal stage moves, but said they didn't start off like a deliberate assault, at least not at first. Gerald Sosa broke it down, saying Raja started off sticking to the planned sequence, but then threw a punch that looked way too real, like an actual MMA strike. From that moment, the script fell apart.
And so Raja most likely has ended his career, will end up in prison for God knows how long. And so, in my opinion, this is an example of exactly what happens when kids, they lash out. And by kids, I mean adults who are only 25 years of age. Perhaps he's 26, I forget. When you keep on poking the bear, you keep on teasing someone, you keep on belittling them, putting them down, making them feel less than other people. Eventually, you can't handle it and you don't give two Turks about anything. And so, in my opinion, this was a ticking time bomb. Imagine, you're this kid. You have to live up to your dad's reputation. And all he does is make fun of you, put you down, calls you a bitch, pussy. Eventually, what do you think you're gonna do when the wrong person pushes you the wrong way?
Sosa explained Raja completely lost control, swinging with raw anger. Those weren't staged shots anymore. They were stiff, heavy blows that had no place in a wrestling ring. Greg Doucette wasn't buying Sosa's angle at all. He clapped back, insisting that no one can ever truly consent to being seriously harmed. To make his point, he gave an extreme example. Even if someone begged to have their arm cut off, that doesn't make it okay. Doucette stressed that just because this was supposed to be a staged fight doesn't give Raja the right to keep pummeling, especially when Stu was unconscious and couldn't defend himself, let alone give consent. Then Big John McCarthy chimed in with a more personal take. He said the real heartbreak wasn't just Raja's meltdown, but the toll it took on Rampage Jackson. McCarthy described Quentin as a dedicated father, now forced to sit back and watch his own son spiral into reckless decisions. He called it gut-wrenching, the very last nightmare any parent would want to live through. And Dylan Dennis threw in his perspective too, saying the whole thing didn't look like a real fight at all, but more like a setup gone horribly wrong, a betrayal of trust inside the ring. He hinted that Raja might be battling his own personal demons and admitted the scene played out less like entertainment and more like pure tragedy. Dennis even admitted he considered stepping in to back Raja, maybe with money or training. But after watching how things unfolded, he made it clear, not gonna do that. He explained that in combat sports, when someone puts their safety in your hands, the unspoken rule is you protect them, not hurt them.
Raja get in the ring as part of a wrestling angle that was scripted and planned. You see Raja come in with his wits about him, waits for the right moment, picks up a double leg, just as it was planned. And he's doing this with Syko Stu, and Syko Stu is letting it play perfectly. Raja then turns him around so that when he brings him down, it's right in the center of the ring, which appears to be very clearly what they agreed and had planned to do. Now, the landing is not great. When Raja brings Syko Stu down, it's not great, and Stu lands in a way and he hits the back of his head, and he looks as though he perhaps lost a level of consciousness right then.
That's why Raja's actions looked even more disturbing. Dylan Dennis also spoke up, saying his huge respect for Rampage Jackson kept him from tearing Raja apart too harshly. Rampage is a legend he truly admires. But even with that respect, Dylan stressed Raja was flat out wrong, especially at an indie show where performers survive off trust. In his eyes, Raja crossed a line that should never be crossed in wrestling. Dennis doubled down, pointing out that Raja is a trained martial artist, meaning he absolutely knew better than to attack someone who was defenseless. In a controlled environment, that kind of behavior is unacceptable and straight up dangerous. He warned that when moments like this go viral, it doesn't just stain Raja's name, it damages the entire reputation of the sport, even putting Rampage's legacy in a weird spotlight. Josh Thompson added another twist, saying reports claimed the promoter actually greenlit Raja to go in with slams and strikes before anyone stepped in. But the real issue? When Raja went too far, nobody stopped him. Josh argued that if that story is true, the promoter failed big time, leaving wrestlers unprotected in the middle of chaos. So that's a wrap for today's video. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more shocking updates like this.